Hello, it's 9:30, November 6th, 2020. Welcome to the weather update. And we'll promise you a more proper weather update tonight. I know I had a lot of other stuff that I had to deal with last night to report on for you, but it was a really nice night after some clouds. The sun came out in the afternoon, and we had a nice sea breeze. And these are just pictures of Mill Lake in Wantor that I took this evening. Just a beautiful with the stars and a nice sky and mild temperatures, nice sea breeze there. Seeing a little bit of fall color there. Again, these are night photos that I took, so very nice out there indeed. So let's take a look at the current conditions across the area, and you will notice that it's actually cooler in the middle of the island. So let's hold this up here, because I noticed that coming back from the South Shore today, that it was much cooler when I got up to New Hyde Park compared to Lynbrook. And you'll see why. So you look here, we got 50 in Syosset, but it's 58 in Long Beach. And let's get a little closer, get some more observations here across the area. It's 52 in Carl Place. You'll notice it's 58 in Merrick. So because the wind has dropped off in the middle of the island, we're getting to see some radiational cooling, whereas you still have the breeze blowing on the South Shore. The dew points have dropped somewhat. We got dew points in the upper 40s and low 50s, so it's less humid than last night, and so that sets the stage for radiational cooling. And we're just waiting for Gabreski Airport to drop. I have a feeling they will drop as well. Taking a look at the city, you can see holding on to the heat, 63 in Central Park. We go into New Jersey. You will see, wow, see, look at that. Miller Air Park is radiated very nicely. 46, but they've saturated the air, and now they have some fog with 1.25 mile visibility. Yeah, so definitely going to be a night for radiational cooling. So Pine Barrens could get into the mid 40s, because it is in the mid 40s already west of Toms River. So let's take a look at what the high temperatures were today. And then we're going to talk about the record-breaking heat that we will see tomorrow. So temperatures look like they got closer to 70 today. 69 in Carl Place. The middle of the island got upper 60s to around 70. South Shore, cooler. Highs were in the low 60s there. Central Park hit 70. Looks like LaGuardia hit 72, whereas Kennedy was 64. Let's go take a look at what the highs were in New Jersey. And once again, 72 in Toms River and 76 in Lakewood. So definitely warm. Lakehurst, I should say. So definitely warmer in Jersey. And let's go to the satellite image here. Latest satellite image. You'll see just some scattered high clouds. We aren't really going to be dealing with many clouds, I think, over the weekend. It should be pretty nice. So first we're going to get started with the latest on Ada. Still a tropical depression, but it is now back over water again. So let's read the public advisory on this. This is as of 6 p.m. It's very disorganized. It's moving northeastward with heavy rains to spread over the Cayman Islands and Cuba tonight and Saturday. Maximum sustained winds at 35 miles an hour, moving northeast at 8 miles an hour. And the minimum central pressure is 1,002 millibars or 29.59 inches. So it's very weak right now, but it's going to change because once it gets out over the water and has some more favorable conditions, it will strengthen. So let's take a look at the map here. And the Hurricane Center still doesn't want to make this a hurricane. I think they're being a little too conservative. Once it gets into a more favorable spot, I think it will become a hurricane again. And right now, the official track seems to take it over South Florida, the Keys, and then over the Gulf. So this is the official track here, and you can see the cone gets bigger and bigger. Because they're not exactly sure where it's going to go. Let's take a look at the latest satellite image on Ada, and you'll see very disorganized. You do have some convection blowups. You see here, it's stuck at 47%, so I guess we're not going to be able to load the whole thing. But you do see some convection blowups there. We'll go ahead and look at the models. Let's get this. What is going on here? What are you doing? All right, the internet has decided not to work again. All right, let's try this. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with this site here. All right, now we got stuck at 70%. So, oh my God. All right, let's see. We may not be able to use this site. It's just acting really slow. I'm hitting current storms, and I can't even get this to move here. Okay. So this is the guidance here on the system here, and you will see here that it's kind of all over the place. um, with this. It's all over the place with the track. This. I mean, there's a general idea of what's going to happen, but these tracks can make a big difference between Miami getting hit or Miami not getting much of anything. So, still a lot of variability out there in regards to the track. Look at the intensity guidance, and you'll see most models just keep it in tropical storm, though one does take it up to a Cat 1. Don't underestimate. We've learned that this whole year with tropical systems. Do not underestimate. So let's see if we can load the models here. Hopefully this site will continue to behave itself again. So we'll start off with the upper air here. And we're going to change the regions to the North American region so you can see everything going on. So we're looking at the GFS now. What is going on with this thing? I don't know if it's the computer or the internet. I don't know. So anyway, probably a little bit of both. So you can see that big ridge in the east. And you can also see like an area of lower pressure over here too. Here's Eta. So as we move into the weekend, Saturday, you'll see very strong ridging in the east. And that's going to bring us very much above normal temperatures. Keep an eye on Eta here. And remember, Eta is blocked by the ridge, so it can't really move that far northward. And you can see it looks like it's keeping it more over Florida, over the land part of Florida, which would mean if it spends more time over land, then it probably will be weaker, but it could still bring a lot of rain. And then you can still see that ridge there in the east there. That doesn't go anywhere. Pretty much, we don't see any change to this ridge in the east pattern right through the end of the period. We are stuck with the ridge here, and it does look like it's forming a couple of other systems there that we're going to have to keep an eye on toward the end of the period. So we're going to have theta. You know that. That's after Eta. That's and probably within the next week or two, probably, because it remains very active in the tropics. The jet stream's literally missing in action. You see that trough a little bit in the west there, but not really very much. And if we look at the jet stream, actually, you will see the problem, and that is that it's very diffuse, very weak, and that's going to lend itself to being above normal conditions throughout much of the country, except for the west, and the northwest there, where there is a trough. But then the trough lifts out, and then we're just kind of stuck in a zonal flow here. So not much of a jet stream to speak of. So let's go look at the European, see if there's any difference in that. So this is the European here, and you still see there's that ridge, and it just doesn't go anywhere. There's a trough that's kind of staying in the upper Midwest, and we're kind of stuck in the ridge. So the deal is there's not going to be any cold weather for the foreseeable future, which is good because I think with the rising COVID numbers, I think more and more people need to be dining outdoors to avoid that. And at least if you do have to dine outdoors, and you can do it, and it won't be too cold. So that's at least helpful. So let's go back to GFS. We're going to look at the surface now, and we're going to switch this to the CONUS view. Okay, so you get to see what's going on at the surface here. Move this back over here. Okay, so there's 80. You can clearly see A. You see this big ridge over us that's going to keep us warm and dry. And then there's Eta right there. And Eta looks like it has Eta as a tropical storm, maybe minimal hurricane, hitting, this is the GFS again, hitting South Florida, and then kind of just going up along the western shore of Florida as a weak tropical storm or tropical depression. And what you will notice is once that high moves offshore, we're going to have a frontal boundary move in Wednesday, and that's going to act possibly to get some of the moisture from Eta. That would be our next chance of rain. It's very unusual to go so many days without rain again. Even though we like it, it's very unusual. And then you'll see that there's going to be a front that's going to get hung up that's going to keep us kind of in a more unsettled pattern as we get toward the end of the week. And we'll be dealing with a little stall front syndrome there. And you can still see some other systems. You see some highs move in, but it won't be dramatically cold weather. Look at that. Another another storm right there, another hurricane. Perhaps that looks like a hurricane that would form. That might be theta. Looks like it's going to head toward Florida. Of course, that's a ways away. It's all hypothetical at this point, that far out. We will look at the temperature anomaly, so you'll get an idea of the temperatures anomalies we're going to be dealing with this weekend. You can see much of the country just as above normal. Much of the country. You see that trough coming to the west next week. They'll get the cool air, but we're going to be stuck. Look at all these bright pinks across the area. Very, very much above normal conditions, and it doesn't really change much. As you can see, we're kind of stuck in this pattern. Though at least this time, at least for this weekend, we are in a dry pattern. So we're not dealing with the clouds. We're just dealing with sunshine and warm temperatures and humidity that's not too high. So that's at least the good thing about it. So let's go take a closer look at. We're going to look at two regions. We're going to first start with the southeast, and we're going to look at the wind and see how it winds up Eta here. This is the GFS that we're looking at again. So it doesn't look too bad with the winds. This looks like it would keep it a tropical storm with this track because it doesn't have a chance to stay over water. The center goes over land. So it wouldn't be too bad with the winds. I think you'd see mostly heavy rain out of it. It wouldn't be too much wind damage from this kind of track, and it just doesn't have enough time over water to really strengthen all that much. This is the GFS. Let's take a look at the the NAM model. And you should have enough of that NAM 12 kilometer in here, and of course it's picking the 0Z. I got to use the 18Z. So let's take a look at that. Let's see how the NAM handles it. There it is. NAM's a little more powerful, but it has a much more compact storm. Again, has it going a little more over the water. And with this, the NAM has got a completely different track. It has it just keep moving west, doesn't bring it up the western spine. So you can see there's a lot of uncertainty as to where it's going to go, and it's too early to guess, especially when it hasn't even really reformed yet. So that's why we're not going to look at too many models from that area right now, because we just don't have an idea. Instead, let's take a look at our area. Now, islip, tomorrow's record high islip record, I believe, is 68. I believe we're going to break it. So let's go back to the GFS. We're going to look at the temperatures here. And we're going to head into tomorrow, and you'll see it'll be warmer. You can see a little bit warmer here. So I think we're going to be in the low 70s. I think tomorrow we're going to hit 71 at islip. 71 to 72, I think, will be the high at islip. So I think we will break the record. Might even be warmer than that, all right? But we're definitely, I think, many parts of Long Island are going to get into the 70s tomorrow because there's going to be less of a sea breeze with more of a west wind. The good news is at night we cool down, low 50s, 50 to 55. Then Sunday we're back up into the low 70s again, and there won't be much of a sea breeze either. Same thing for Monday, Tuesday, upper 60s to low 70s, and then we start seeing that more southerly flow, which will mean more of a sea breeze but higher humidity, and there'll probably be more of a difference between New Jersey and Long Island as we head that. You can sort of see where that front is coming through there Thursday, and then boom, it kind of gets hung up to the south a little bit. So we're going to have that stall front syndrome that we're going to have to deal with toward the end of the weekend. That might keep us in clouds and rain. And then it looks like it does cool down. We do get some cool air coming in Saturday. Again, temperatures around average, I guess, maybe low to mid-50s. And same thing Sunday, but you can see that's going to be short-lived, and the warm air kind of tries to come. It looks like it does, despite the lack of a really good trough in the east, looks like some cool air does try to come down and at least get us back to normal. But the pattern remains above normal, very much above normal. Let's look at the dew points as we head into tomorrow. So you'll see drier air. So if you look at the wind barbs here, you'll see the wind barbs are westerly. So we have drier air in place. Dew points in the upper 40s. So it will not be humid, but you can see there won't be much of a sea breeze either. You see here's Sunday. We might see more of a sea breeze, very light winds, probably a light northerly wind, probably a sea breeze in the afternoon, maybe. Again, those dew points stay low. Here we are Monday. More of a sea breeze develops Monday, and then you start seeing that humid air starting to come up. And Wednesday we're gonna have to deal with that LLJ, and that could bring some tropical rains our way, perhaps maybe a thunderstorm. There's that front, and it tries to get offshore. Here's Thursday. and we try to get that front offshore, but you can see it kind of gets hung up to the south. We'd have to wait for the weekend for it to go far enough to the south so we could have sunshine again. So let's take a look at the skies as we head into the weekend. You see some high clouds, some scattered high clouds. It looks like this model wants to have some, those look like high clouds over Long Island, however, less over New Jersey. I'm sure these are high clouds. Let's see. Yeah, high cloud fraction. So it would have some high clouds to the GFS and some high clouds over us tomorrow. Sunday, still maybe some high clouds persisting over Long Island, but ending clearer skies. And then here's Monday. Tries to keep us clear Monday, and then Tuesday we might even be clear on Tuesday, and then we got more high clouds on Wednesday. However, the GFS might be overdue. You can sort of see that front getting hung up. Maybe we can clear it out for a little bit on Thursday. It's kind of hard to tell. You'd have to wait until the weekend, and maybe then we can clear it out. That's kind of a ways away, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Let's look at the NAM as far as the sky goes. And again, we're going to use the 18Z NAM. Well, we have enough of the 0Z with the sky, so let's do that. So here is the sky on the NAM. You can see it has some clouds. These could be low clouds from the radiational cooling. Some fog burns off. NAM does not seem to think there will be as many high clouds. It'll be mostly sunny. Here is Sunday. And again, you can sort of see those clouds from the radiational cooling that'll develop in the morning and then burn off in the afternoon. And then you sort of see that cycle kind of repeat. So that is the NAM. We can look at the RGEM2 as well. So it's just the RGEM, and that keeps us fairly clear. Again, maybe a scattered high cloud, a scattered fog in the morning. Other than that, it's going to be plenty of sun. So it should be a nice weekend. Very nice weekend. Yes, it's warm. It's above normal, but I'm glad at least that it's sunny. So I can't say it's a bad pattern. It's just not normal to have at this time of the year, but it is nice weather to be outside for sure, and definitely would get out there and enjoy it and look for whatever fall foliage you can find out there. And the good news is we have train service this weekend, so that's some good news as well. So I think that's going to wrap up this weather update, and we'll see what happens with Ada, but right now it's too early to really tell what's going to exactly happen. But if you're in South Florida and the Gulf Coast, again, you got to watch for this and see what happens, because we've seen what's happened this whole year with these tropical systems getting out of control. I'll look at one more thing. That's the high-resolution satellite, so you can get an idea of everything. So you can sort of see that all this clear air right here. All right, so we're gonna be enjoying this clear air. It's warm but sunny weather. There's Ada. It's just very disorganized, as you can see. So, but anyway, I guess that's gonna wrap up this weather update. So take care and thank you for watching. And it would be nice if that would. There we go. Computer. Have a good night, everybody.